I'm very excited. This is the President's State of the Union tonight, a very important event every year in Congress, where this president speaks to us about all the issues that he has accomplished and what he looks forward to talking about in the future. One of the most important issues I hope to hear from him that is critical to me and every family and community and business in our state and across the country is the issue of childcare. Because we have a crisis today where people cannot afford childcare, they can't find a slot, they're on long waiting lists. Our providers are turning over help on a constant basis. And so it is really hurting our economy today. And we have to deal with this at the national level. I was very excited last year, at the end of the year, we were able to add a 30% increase for our CDBG funds, Child Development Block Grant funds, to help with this, but we are not there yet. So I say childcare is the crisis we need to deal with, and that's what this Congress needs to focus on. And I am focused on that tonight and hoping to hear more from the president about that as well. To that end, we are all wearing crayons to remind the president and everybody out there that children are our issue, and we're going to make sure that we work to get this done. I'm also really excited because I have a special guest that will be with me at the State of the Union. Every member of Congress gets to bring a special guest. My special guest is Angelica. She's here with me. She has dealt with childcare crisis for a long time in many different ways, and I want her to tell you her story and why this is important to her. So I will turn it over to you.
Thank you. So yes, my name is Angelica Maria Gonzalez, and I am a Seattle attorney and a mother of 5 amazing and beautiful children. So I have struggled with childcare for a long time. My oldest is 17, and I have struggled with childcare for 17 years, and I have not seen much of a change over time, even though my life has changed a lot over time. So I'm really excited to be here to advocate on behalf of mothers, children, and families. Like the senator was saying, we are currently in a childcare crisis, and quite honestly, we have been in a childcare crisis for a long time. And suffering through this crisis is not an answer. It's not a solution. It's time that we address this. Childcare has profoundly affected me and my family, like it has so many other families in America. And I'm super excited to be here to help advocate on behalf of America and families, American families.
So this is, her story is so many people's story where she couldn't find childcare. She wanted to better her life and her family's life, couldn't get childcare, decided to go to school, has become an attorney despite all the odds, actually had to take out a loan to pay for childcare at one time, and still today, after becoming an attorney, is still not finding a good place for her family anywhere in Seattle and Puget Sound. Fortunately, she's got a great employer that helps work with her, but people shouldn't have to rely on who their boss is or where they work, or whether or not they have a mother that's available, which is a lot rarer today. We should have a childcare system in this country that actually works for families to make sure that they can afford it, to make sure that there are providers that are steady and stable, and to make sure that we really put the investments in for childcare. Why is that important? Because everybody is better off, not just the families who have childcare, our businesses do better, our economy does better. So I think this is the #1 economic issue facing us. We're going to be talking about it and hope the president does tonight, and we will be reminding everybody, this is the crisis we need to address in this country.
All right, thank you so much. We do have time for questions. So to the reporters that are on today's call, please just use the raise your hand function. You should see it under reactions at the bottom of your screen, and we'll call on folks in the order they raise their hands. Okay. All right, doing one more call for question and answer. I know we've got a lot of newsrooms, but I see also a lot of reporter names. All right, great. And then if you can just list your outlet. So Adam, please go ahead and then just let us know what outlet you're with.
Hi, I'm Adam Schwager with KHQ. I was wondering, what concrete policies do you think could help childcare? And then I was also wondering, for our newsroom's sake, if we could get Angelica's last name and how to spell it for our
All right.
workers.
Why don't you do that for them, and then I'll talk about what we can do.
Yeah, Gonzalez, Gonzalez.
And spell your first name too.
Angelica, Angelica, and then Maria, Marie. Angelica.
Would you prefer all three names?
Yes, please.
All right, perfect.
Okay, so there's a number of things we can do, and I'm open to absolutely every step. But importantly, investing in the Child Care Development Block Grant, as we did last year, with a bigger increase this year, helps provide slots. But secondly, I have legislation that changes how we look at childcare in this country by making sure that families get a subsidy for childcare if they earn less than $200,000 a year so that they can afford it. That gives grants to communities to build childcare centers because we do not have enough childcare facilities today, and to make sure that the providers are paid so that they stay in those jobs and don't turn around every few weeks and go work at McDonald's because they get paid more. So it's a three-way approach to help change this system in our country.
And then I was just wondering if I could have a quick follow-up for Angelica. Angelica? Angelica. How would some of those proposed policies have changed your life when you had early development childcare needs?
It definitely would have changed my life immensely. Just quickly to touch on some of the struggles I had encountered, especially pre-law school. Is I really needed childcare to keep a roof over my children's head and food on the table. And when you don't have anyone that can help watch your children for free, you really need to have access to childcare, and you also need to be able to afford it. And so I know firsthand of needing childcare to maintain a roof over our head and get food on the table, and not having that. And so encountering homelessness and just the profound impacts. And this is not a unique story to me. Families are going through this every day across America. And it seems like it's a normalized thing, but we're not really looking at this is a broken system, and no family should ever have to make decisions around childcare and food or childcare and housing. I mean, that's just ridiculous, honestly. And not only that, I've had to turn down amazing positions that could have profoundly changed my family's circumstances. I had to turn down those positions because I couldn't find childcare. I've gone through, looking within a 60-mile radius, no childcare. It's just absolutely crazy. I've been on waiting lists for years. And, I chose to go to law school to help others and also better my life for my children. And also I thought, becoming an attorney, this won't be an issue anymore. But what I found out is it's not just a low income family issue, it's a working family issue. Because as I talk to women, many women, and not just in Washington State, women in the United States, if you are working, you're encountering this issue. And even if you think that you can afford childcare, accessibility isn't there. There's nowhere to take your child. And so, this is a serious issue that affects businesses. It affects the families. It affects children. And it's just honestly not acceptable, and it's overdue to be addressed, really. So we need these policies, and we don't need them tomorrow. We need them now.
Thank you so much.
All right. And then the next person, we've got a question from Jeff and then Emily. So again, you can just state your name and your outlet, and we'll start with Jeff.
Yes, this is Jeff Pogela with Northwest News Radio for Angelica. I guess the more of a broad question: what does it mean to be invited to be in the chamber for the State of the Union? And for the senator, aside from child care, what are you hoping to hear from the president tonight?
Well, it's absolutely a great honor to be invited, and also the fact that I've been advocating on childcare for about 15 years. It's just wonderful. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have her in the gallery, because when the president talks about childcare, I will know there's somebody that's being impacted from my home state up in the gallery watching with me. And I'm very excited about that. Overall, I expect the president to talk about a lot of the work that we have done over the last 2 years, and what we need to be focused on over the next several years to make sure that our economy gets back on track, that people start feeling more confident about where we're going, reducing prices and overall policies that will help all of us. And again, I'm going to be listening for him to say childcare, and I'll be right there with my crayon on, cheering loudly when that happens.
Yes.
All right, and we'll go to Emily, and again, just state your name and outlet.
Emily, you're muted.
I'm with KXLI, Emily Bloom here in Spokane, Washington. I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about when families can expect relief from this Child Care and Development Block Grant. How soon?
You're talking about the money that we got at the end of last year.
Yes.
That money is now being distributed to communities across the country, and we expect very soon that they'll be able to use those funds in ways, but it has to go through the process of getting it to the states and then out grants to the communities. So it takes a little while, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean we're done. It means we've got more work to do, and that's what we're focused on today.
Okay, thank you. So hopefully this year, next year?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The funds from last year will come out this year, absolutely. But we're fighting for more.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, we got a last call for any questions. Just go ahead and use the raise your hand function. All right, not seeing any raised hands. We'll go ahead and turn it over to Senator Murray and her guest for any closing thoughts.
I just invite all of you to watch the State of the Union tonight. It is going to be really important that the president sets a direction for the country and we all get our marching orders on what he believes is important. And I hope that that includes childcare.
The last words I want to lead with is that the lack of childcare for America does really have a profound effect. This is really a crisis. I know we have oftentimes so many issues to think about or that people are talking about. The economy is one of them, but this is by far a real important issue, and it's having effect on families to the point of homelessness, them not being able to go to work. This is so serious. If I could just drive home the fact that this is a real issue that needs more attention, and that you can find agreement among many people that this is a real issue that they care about.
All right, that concludes today's media availability. This was recorded and will be distributed widely. Thanks to everyone for joining today.
Thank you.